back to the channel. Now this ugly looking thing is a piece of Robinia. Now Robinia is fairly common across the northern hemisphere. It's pretty well populated, and this is a piece of Burl from that tree. Now it does have other names as well. It's also known as false acacia or black locust, and we do know, as we've turned black locust before, that this will fluoresce under UV light, so we may try that a little bit later on. Now it does have quite a few problems, this piece. We've got a very, very low, horrible gap here, which is incredibly thin and loose. We've got lots of splitting going around the edge. It really has seen better days, but I think we can hopefully make something nice out of it. Now, it is quite a big piece of wood, and we have a lot of usable area around here. So what I'm going to try and do is cut a blank out of this from about there, which should hopefully leave us enough wood to make a few nice things out of this corner. So I'm going to quickly make up a template. We'll get it attached and then we'll take it over to the bandsaw. There we go. It's not looking too bad, is it? There's some amazing potential grain in here. We do have a bit of a bark inclusion going on here, so we'll have to see how that affects the design. There's a bit of rot there, but overall this could be absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to mount it initially between centres so I can work on it easily. I would normally put a worm screw in there, but we've got a good layer of bark, I think, so I'm going to try and get rid of some of this bark on the top, not around the edges. If we can keep it on the edges, that would be fantastic, but I'll clear a bit of that bark in the middle so I can get my drive spur into there, and then I'll get this on the lathe. There we go, all nice and safe. We've cleared the area so I can get the drive spur nice and easily in there, then we'll get it between centres. Okay, we're all nicely settled on the lathe. Initially we're going to be turning it around 850 RPM. It's pretty well balanced. I've got a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. And first of all, I want to try and start getting this round and seeing what's under here and how deep it goes, because that is, as you can see, it's very soft. Felt a lump come off as I was turning. I'm not quite sure where it was from. That's okay. This does seem to go in an awful long way. Now, we haven't quite got it all fully round yet, but the grain in this is just absolutely mind-blowing. Can't wait to put a finish on it. Right, let's continue turning this away. As you know, I like to try and let the wood decide what shape it wants to be, and I don't think this wood wants this bit in, so let's start taking that away. still very much there. Still all very, very, very soft, but it is reducing. With us turning between centers, we do need to create a tenon and a foot, which is going to bring this up about 1/2 inch. So we do have room in this piece to hopefully turn all that away. These kind of pieces around here I'm not really worried about, because that's all part of the natural beauty of it, these bark inclusions. Okay, we're getting into the realms of wood that we can treat and deal with, which is excellent. So what we're left with. Right, I like that shape. That's not bad. Can we just feather that in? Maybe slightly go in towards the top. How would that look? Let's find out. That really is quite a pleasing shape. Still, there we are. I've still got a saw line to remove, but that bark looks solid as a rock. There's no give in it whatsoever, so I reckon we can keep that on without too much problem. Right, so I'm going to take a couple more passes on this side, just narrow it a little bit more, just so we can get rid of this bit here. Right, we've got it. Excellent. Right, I'm going to finish off this curve here, create a tenon and a foot, and then we can start sanding. Okay, that's pretty good. Happy with that. Right, I'm going to set up for sanding. As usual, I'll let you watch a bit of it, then I'll bring you back when we're done. Okay, just taking a quick break in sanding. It's all going very, very well indeed, but except for this area here, there's a small section of this rotten piece we have at the bottom, which is starting to let go. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking this bit out and sanding what's left, and it'll leave a hole, but holes are fine. See that? That's just all completely loose. So if I can just feather this in and smooth it all out so it looks natural, and then we'll carry on. Okay, sanding went well. We've got a nice sort of kind of organic dip in this area now where we took out that rot. So what we're going to do now is just put a bit of isopropyl alcohol on, just to clean out the grooves, and basically because I'm dying to see what this figure is like. I've got this camera hopefully set up to do a close-up as I put this on. Wow. This grain has everything. Okay, right, we'll let this evaporate. Okay, now I'm desperately wanting to put a Danish oil on this, so we're going to leave finishing the outside to when we do the inside, so we can do them all together. So I'm going to quickly turn this around, and then we'll start hollowing out. Okay, we're all turned round. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out a core using a Forstner bit, just to save us time when we're hollowing out. I'll put a bit of tape on here for the correct depth. Remember the last time I did this, I went too deep and actually into the tenon itself, so hopefully we won't be doing that again. Take it nice and slowly. Okay, I'll start off with a bowl gouge, but after a little while I would imagine I'm going to have to switch to carbide. Okay, hollowing's going well. I haven't swapped over to carbide yet because I haven't really run into problems yet. I'm having way too much fun, to be honest. So I'm going to continue on a little bit further with the bowl gouge, and then I'm pretty sure I am going to have to get into a carbide to sort out the base and these bottom walls. Okay, still going very, very well. I am going to have to start switching to a carbide in a second, but I just want to take this down a little bit thinner. Not much, just maybe 1/4 of an inch. And then I'll swap over and finish out the base. Okay, excellent. Right, carbide time. That's good. Right, get in there with a scraper to sort out the base and a couple of tool marks on the edges there. And then we're ready for sanding. Okay, that's as good as that can get. Love it. Right, I'm going to set up for sanding. I'll let you watch a bit of it as usual, and I shall bring you back when we're done. Okay, all's gone well. Sanding went beautifully. Some very, very tricky areas to get to on this wood, but we managed to do it justice. Right, I'm going to quickly turn this around, take the tenon off, and then I'll bring you back and we'll start putting a finish on. Okay, we're all ready to get started. We'll put it on the sides and the base first. Now this is Danish oil. There's a few things you've got to bear in mind when you're using this stuff. First of all, any cloths you use while putting it on, you must dispose of them carefully, because like many other oils, it has an exothermic reaction. In other words, when it gets hot, it can spontaneously burst into flames. And flames with wood are not a great mix. So if you're using cloths for this, then do make sure you dispose them adequately. Danish oil's a drying oil, so we have to build it up in layers. Each layer, if you use a standard Danish oil, will take about between 12 and 24 hours to dry. This one I'm using here, Liberon's, it says you can recoat in about 6 to 7 hours, obviously depending on the temperature. But please, whatever Danish oil you have, please read the instructions carefully. If you put a second coat on too soon, or a third coat, the surface can start to get sticky. Okay, inside. The grain on this really is quite remarkable. I'm using a brush this time purely so I can get in all the nooks and crannies in the bark and on the edges. Just makes life an awful lot easier rather than using a tissue or something like that and it all tearing up on the edges. Now there will be some excess, and the idea is you let it sit for 20 minutes or so and then come back and wipe off the excess, and then you leave it to dry. Okay, right, that'll do for now. I'll be back in 20 minutes to wipe this off, and I'm going to keep on applying coats until I think it's had enough. Don't worry, you don't have to wait for that. I'll bring you back when we're all done. There we go. Robinia, false acacia, or black locust, whatever you call it. I'm just going to call it beautiful. This wood has every type of grain you can imagine in it. Burls and swirls and feathers and ripples, everything. It's all hidden inside that absolutely horrible looking blank. Absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed turning this one. Hollowing was, which I normally dread, especially deeper pieces like this, was so much fun. The long ribbons of wood that I managed to get to come off were really was so much fun to do. Now, last time I turned a bit of black locust, we were messing around doing the turning under UV. Somebody left a comment saying, will Robinia Burl fluoresce? So, should we find out? Alexa, turn off workshop lights. There's your answer. Yes, it does. That really is quite astonishing, isn't it? Right, Alexa, turn on workshop lights. I'll put some photographs of this at the end of the video, and I'll also put some more on Instagram and Facebook and on the new website, which is now live. I did put a post in the community section saying that the new website was live, So feel free to go and have a look if you like. There is a shop on there which sells Mike Holton merchandise. All profits from the shop go back into the channel to help me buy more interesting and wonderful pieces of wood so we can all turn it together. You can get shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and magnets as well. We'll be adding a few of my badges and stickers as well. One of the t-shirts I'm actually wearing now, it's the Woodworking Brain, a t-shirt I designed a few weeks ago. Anyway, there we go. Don't forget that we're doing the draw for the competition for the bowl we made last week on Thursday this week. All you have to do to be in with a chance to win it is have left a comment on one of the videos since the last giveaway. But apart from that, thank you very much indeed for watching. Oh, one more thing. I am away next week on holiday, although I am going to still be releasing a video. I'm still working on it, but it will be ready to go out by Tuesday next week. So if I don't comment or reply to your comment in a timely fashion, please excuse me, because I'll be on a beach or in a bar. So anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.